Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be comparing two different products after it was suggested by a viewer. The two products we are going to be testing out, comparing, and see how they perform are the classic Bioderma Sensibio H2O Micellar Water, and the other one we're going to be taking a look at is the Bioderma Sensibio H2O AR, or Anti-Rouge Micellar Water. To get into the experience, to see how they performed, see how my skin reacted, stay tuned and let's get right into the video. As you work through this video, I want to do a little bit of an experiment and kind of show you how well these do at removing makeup. On the back of both my hands, I'm going to apply a dollop of the Peripera Ink Velvet in number 17 Rosy Nude. Rom&nd, this is the Juicy Lasting Tint in number 11 Pink Pumpkin. Alrighty, so there are the swatches on the back of the hand. We are going to let those sit there as we go through the video, and then at the end we are going to see which of the two formulas removes them easier. So the first comparison between these two products we're going to look at is how they compare in size and price. The Bioderma Sensibio, the classic one, this is available in 3 times. Sometimes you can find a 4th size, which is a larger size that has a pump dispenser, and the Bioderma Sensibio AR is only available in 1 size, which is 250 mils. I have the Bioderma Sensibio in the 500 ml size, but we'll compare the price point of both of these to see how they compare. For 250 mils, the Bioderma Sensibio, here in Canada, it's roughly $13.99, which breaks down to about 6 cents per mil. Then we have the Bioderma Sensibio, which is $14.99, so $1 more expensive. For 250 mil, that's about 0.065 cents per dollar. Almost identical in the cost per mil, but this is available in more sizes. Now, as far as the formulas, we're going to really only focus on the Bioderma AR because all the ingredients in this are in this. This, however, has a few different ingredients. So I've got my notes in front of me. So we're going to take a look at what ingredients this has in addition to the ingredients that the other formula has. The first one is going to be aloe leaf extract, which it can be used as an anti-inflammatory, an emollient, and it has moisturizing properties. Then we have lecithin, which is an emollient and it can help with water binding to the skin. Then you have ginkgo biloba extract, which is going to be a skin conditioning ingredient. Then you have camellia leaf extract or green tea, which is an antioxidant. It has some anti-inflammatory and skin smoothing properties to it. Then you have sodium hydroxide, which is a pH adjuster. And then you have citric acid, which in the case of this formula, it's at the very bottom, which is going to be more of a buffering ingredient. Let's move on to how well these worked at removing makeup. For about the last month, I have been using these every single night as my first step. Now, this one is a lot lower because I've had this bottle for quite some time. And then this one, it doesn't look like I've used much. You need such a tiny amount of the product on a cotton pad to remove everything that I find a lot of people overuse these, they oversaturate. They don't need to be dripping. They need to be damp. You need to fill the glide, then they'll work well. But don't waste your product by oversaturating. Just a little bit, get it wet so you can feel the moisture and then let it break down the makeup. I found that between the two of them, I still prefer the classic Bioderma Sensibio H2O. However, the AR version does better at removing stubborn mascara. Recently, the mascara I've been using is a combination of the Etude Dr. Fixer Mascara Base with the Rom&nd All Fix Mascara. These two create an all-day hold that really holds a curl, but it is quite challenging to remove at the end of the day. The classic Bioderma Sensibio, it really doesn't move the lashes. It's almost like nothing happened to them. If I take a cotton pad, really press it against the lashes and let this one soak in, it will eventually remove it. But that leads me on to the next point, which is the Bioderma Sensibio AR stings my eyes like crazy, and then afterwards my eyelid can feel a little on the raw side, and that's not something I experienced from the classic Bioderma Sensibio. Now, to point out that it is not constant that I experience this, I found it really depends on what products I'm using underneath. Like if I'm wearing a water resistant liquid liner and I need to let it sit on a little bit longer, this stings. This will take a little bit longer to break it down, but it doesn't sting or burn my eyes or my eyelids. As far as how they remove makeup on the rest of the face, it's pretty neck and neck. On lips, they remove lip products quite well. They remove foundation very well. Biggest difference between the two, this gets the job done a little bit faster. But I've noticed sometimes, kind of like how on occasion I've experienced a little irritation on my eyelids, with this one, right after I use it, it's maybe 5-10 seconds after I use it, I'll notice a little tingling sensation on my cheeks and they'll be a little flushed. But when I use my oil makeup remover on top, that goes away completely. And that's something I don't experience with the classic Sensibio. I've got two little cotton squares on my left hand where I've got those swatches. And if anyone's curious, the little cotton squares I like to use are these. These are from the brand Peripera, and it just says grooming for your beauty cotton. They are $5.50 and I get them here in Toronto at the Japanese dollar store called Omomo, and they are just so squishy, and they've got this little pocket for your fingers. I used to be a big fan of the Shisoto cottons. I like these better and they're more affordable. Really love these. So on my left hand, I'm going to be taking the Sensibio AR, just getting a little bit on, and then let's see what happens. The reason I chose these K-Beauty lip products is because I find compared to Eastern lip products, these stay on all day. Like, these are the type of products that at the end of the day, you can still have a little bit of a stain. And if you're someone who does beauty swatches and you go to swatch these on your forearm, like a lot of us beauty creators do with our swatches, they're gonna stain. But we can see, took little rubbing, but the Sensibio AR got everything off. There's no trace of a stain. So now on the right hand, I'm gonna use the classic Sensibio. The Peripera ink stain isn't really wanting to budge. Let's try to see if we can get the Rom&nd Juicy Lasting Tint off. We've still got a bit of a stain on this side. Let's see if I can't manipulate to get the products off a little bit better. If we compare side to side, the hand where I use the Sensibio AR, my left hand, there's no staining left. On the hand where I use the classic Sensibio, there's still a faint trace of the other product. So I am going to press and hold and see if I can't get the stain to come off. For the most part, that is off, but over here where we applied the Rom&nd Juicy Lasting Tint in the shade Pink Pumpkin, there's still a little soft hint. And that just kind of goes to demonstrate that this does a little bit more of an effective job at removing makeup, especially some stubborn stain-like makeup, whereas the Sensibio, it can remove most of your makeup, but sometimes it does have a little bit of a challenge. The other day, I did try a demonstration. I thought I filmed it, but I did the whole thing, and yeah, I did not press record. But there was one day I just, on a whim, wanted to apply a pair of lashes to see how these did at removing lash glue. This, while it dissolved all of the makeup around it, it was a bit of a struggle to get the lash glue off. On the other hand, the classic Sensibio did a much better job at dissolving the lash glue. With both of these products, you do need to hold on, and if you try to lift off the strip all at one go, you are going to get some tugging. So what I like to do is once I've dissolved most of the glue and I've got it off to where the corners are starting to lift, I'll take a small little cotton bud, soak it in some of the remover, and then gently lift and just kind of use this to buff right along at the lash line, and that will help break down the glue. This still struggled a little bit more than the classic Sensibio did. This just did a little bit quicker. And I find that very fascinating considering how this one did better at removing different types of makeup. It did better at removing like these stains, where this one struggled, but this one did slightly better at removing something stubborn like lash glue. With these two products, while they do share similarities, for me, I do have a distinct winner. And for me, that winner is going to be the classic Bioderma Sensibio H2O. In my normal day, I don't use a micellar water to remove makeup. I did this strictly for the purpose of this video. Normally, micellar water stays here in my office and I use this to remove swatches. That's all I do. For me, when I go to remove makeup, I always do a first step oil-based cleanser followed by a second step, which is either like a gel or a cream cleanser. That's the way I prefer to cleanse my skin, and with that method, no matter what type of makeup I have on, even this stubborn eye mascara that I'm currently using, that comes off very, very easily with my basic cleansing routine. For me, going forward, I would continue to repurchase the classic Sensibio, and I would skip on the Sensibio AR. For me, in the rare occasion I do use this on my face, I don't like how sensitive this made my eyelids and the front of my cheek felt. I noticed one night when I didn't use this and I woke up the next day, my eyelid did not have the same kind of sensitized feeling it did. So to kind of counteract that, the rest of the time I was using this, after I did my evening cleansing routine, I took a little bit of my Sulfate or my La Roche-Posay B5 Boom, and I used that right over my eyelids to counteract any type of possible dermatitis or irritation I could have. And just to be safe, I did it on both sides, even though the classic Sensibio did not give me irritation. For the subscriber who requests this video, and for anyone else looking up and trying to find the difference between these two products, I say stick with the classic. For me, this worked better. You can get a better value because it comes in different sizes and it just has fewer ingredients. While the Sensibio AR does have some ingredients that could be potentially helpful, I find some of the extracts made this possibly a little bit more irritating compared to the classic. For me, this has been around for such a long time. It's one of those things, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So for me, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna continue using this one up to remove swatches, but I won't repurchase in the future. When the subscriber who wanted to know more about this product mentioned it, she said that she could not find this in the US. When I've looked around online, I can only find this here in Canada. And at first I was like, I wonder why they would do that. But now I'm kind of like, oh well, you can get the one that I think performs a little bit better and I think more people will enjoy. So if you have tried both of these formulas or you've only tried one of the two, let me know what your experience was in the comments down below. And if you're someone who loves using micellar waters and there's a micellar water that you've tried out that you would suggest for me to try out for swatches, or maybe even trying out as a different makeup remover, let me know, because the only one I've used is the Bioderma. Oh, and I did use, I think it was a Garnier with a pinkish red lid. I tried that out many, many years ago, but for the most part, I've stuck with Bioderma for at least the last 6 years since I've been living in Canada, because I can get this very easily at my local pharmacy. So this is a classic I love, I repurchase. If you enjoyed this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share this video with a friend that you think might be interested. Until the next video, I hope you all are taking care of yourself, and I will see you later. Bye, y'all.